What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Like, share, subscribe, comment. I just hit top about the video and we're just gonna hop right into it. So today we will be talking about Remy Ma again. Well, I ain't gonna say again because it's been a while since that video, but we will be talking about Remy Ma for a different reason besides Papoose today. So there is a video going around basically of Remy Ma getting into an argument with the daughter of a man her son allegedly murdered. So obviously I'll put the video in here.
Turn around.
Like your mother's ugly?
Turn around.
Like your mother's ugly?
Same thing.
Oh, okay.
Same thing.
Oh, okay.
Just watch.
Yeah, okay. We could test her right now. Right now. Right now, ugly. Everything. Oh, you thought you was gonna see something ugly, bitch. You wasn't. But you wasn't. But you wasn't.
No makeup.
But you wasn't. Same here. You see what's up? Same here. You see what's up? Oh, okay.
Now, well, first, let me get into their altercation first, then I'll get into the details of her son. So, first, you see, obviously you see her, basically the woman talking to, engaging with Remy Ma. Basically, she eventually, basically tries to say, get Remy Ma, that's what she says, to go around the corner so they can fight. Remy Ma, invites it, says, beat me up. Now, we not finna act like Remy Ma didn't go just pop somebody, so Remy Ma is about their life. But at this time, I'm pretty sure they're in New York, so the guns are limited, the police is heavy. Shit like that's not happening. But, then we found video of later of Remy Ma getting detained. Now, we don't know the official, the details of her getting detained, if they really got physical and, they wanted to lock Remy Ma up, or not lock her up, but at least like detain her for a half a second so that she'll stop fighting or things of that sort. We don't know, but she did get detained. Now, you're probably wondering what the hell with Remy Ma's son. So it actually hasn't been, many details about this, but there is, information on the internet about it. So Remy Ma's son, Jay Sean Scott, I think he's 23. He's either 22 or no, he's 23, and his accomplice is 22. So what they are alleging he did, they're alleging that with Robert Skygert, he has an interesting name, y'all see. But what they are alleging he did on June 7th, 2021 at approximately 7:55 p.m. The victim of Astoria was standing on the corner of 148th Street and Rockaway Boulevard in South Jamaica. About an hour later, video surveillance shows that Scott and Skygert entered the nearby South Jamaica houses. Video surveillance further shows they were picked up by the South Jamaican houses shortly thereafter in a 2007 silver Elantra with distinctive rear damage and were dropped off in the vicinity of 14620 123rd Avenue, close to where the victim was standing. Scott and Skygert can then be observed on video walking from that location to the intersection of 148th Street and Rockaway Boulevard at the time of the shooting. Immediately prior to the shooting, a red 2017-2018 Hyundai Elantra made a right turn from Rockaway Boulevard onto 148th Street and drove past the victim. A second later, Scott and Skygert walked towards the intersection, and Scott stepped near the victim and fired a gun at him. The victim collapsed, and Scott stared over the victim and fired again. Skygert fired at least 2 shots at the victim. Video surveillance captured the defenders entering into a red 2017-2018 Elantra immediately after the shooting, and it was seen driving away from the murder scene. At approximately 8:15, a 2017-2018 red Elantra pulled in front of a building on Lincoln Avenue in Brooklyn, and Scott and Skygert were observed on video surveillance getting out the back of the car and entering the building. Scott and Skygert were then observed on video surveillance entering the 2007 silver Elantra with distinctive rear damage. In addition, Scott's cell phones tracked his movements from Scott's South Jamaica homes to the vicinity of the shooting location to Lincoln Avenue in Brooklyn at the time. He and Skygert are observed at those locations on video surveillance. Wow. I said wow like that because taking your phone on the head is absolutely ridiculous. I thought, we have moved past that, but this is a couple years ago, so it's over with. So they saying Scott of Tier Street, the Bronx, was arraigned today on a 7-count indictment, charging him with the murder in the first and second degrees, 4 counts of criminal possession of a weapon in the second degree, and reckless endangerment in the first degree. Skyger of Harrison Avenue was arraigned today on the same indictment, charging him with the murder in the second degree, 4 counts of criminal possession of a weapon in the second degree, and reckless endangerment in the first degree. So the reason that Remy Ma's son got a first degree charge instead of a second degree like Skyger, because they are alleging Scott was hired to do this. Now, they haven't gave information about who might have hired him, but it does make sense that he might have been hired to do this because the victim is 47 years old and Scott, obviously, like I said, is 23. So they're saying Scott faces up to life in prison without the possibility of parole if convicted, and Skyler faces up to 25 years in prison if convicted. Only thing about it is these niggas both have separate cases that they might get in trouble, that might fuck them up as well. So Scott was also arraigned on June the 5th on an indictment in a separate case, charging him with 2 counts of criminal possession of a weapon in the second degree, 2 counts of criminal possession of a weapon in the third degree, and unlawful possession of pistol ammunition. He also was arrested in May after a search warrant of his house. He and 2 others were in on 108th Street, Havy Drive, uncovered a loaded 40 caliber Glock semi-automatic pistol as well as ammunition. His co-defendant, I should say, was indicted on a separate case in October 2021 on charges of murder in the second degree, 2 counts of attempted murder in the second degree, assault in the first and second degree, and 2 counts of criminal possession of a weapon in the second degree. He is accused of fatally shooting a 20-year-old Rosedale man and injuring 2 others outside accused Garden Hotel. So both of them, it's not looking good. I'm just gonna say, the surveillance, obviously reading that to you, they have plenty of, well, we already knew they have a lot of surveillance in New York and actually these bigger cities now, but New York is definitely the main ones with all the surveillance, and basically they tracked him the whole way with his phone moving, and caught him with weapons as well. They didn't say exactly if it was the murder weapons, but they caught them with weapons and they tracked their movement. So it's just not looking too good. And when you see that they have cases on top of that, he probably will end up, I hate to say it, but he probably will end up getting life. So, and actually, that wasn't it, my bad. On his co-defendant actually also got indicted in September 21 on charges of murder in the second degree, assault in the first and second degrees, 2 counts of criminal possession of a weapon in the second degree, and false personation. He's alleged to have fired at a 22-year-old man in a karaoke bar on August 13, 2021, killing him and wounded another individual. So, yeah, it's not looking good. Too many cases, too many of that. Yeah, it's just not looking good. But like I said, they are alleging that, Scott, Remy Ma's son, was hired, so that's why he did get a first degree murder charge. But that's not that. So that's pretty much it of, what happened from her son's court case and the details of that. But like I said, she got in an altercation with the daughter of the victim that I just explained, and we got our video on what went on today. So that's all I gotta say though. Like, share, subscribe, comment. I just hit that bottom video, and we out.